Hello, everyone, and welcome to another solo Darachat. Guests couldn't come because they weren't feeling well. I had asked before. I wanted to make sure I gave some time just in case things change around, but things didn't change around, so they were unable to come. But there's always next time. There is always next time. So thank you. I could have changed it to like 7 o'clock, but I was like, well, we'll just keep it the same time. People are expecting it at 5, so it's not like I'm trying to go like, okay, what time is it for the most majority of people will be able to. It is what it is. But anyway, thank you for coming. I know this is it's been a while since I've been. When was the last solo one I did? To be honest, I can't remember. I can't remember the last one I did, but it was a while ago. Um, but I think I was talking about the movie If on the last one, and yeah, that was a while ago. Time slips by, and all I can remember is that I put the peanut butter cap back on again. Stuff like that. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I know tomorrow, hopefully, my guest will be able to come on. It's not fun when a guest, falls ill or whatever. But hey, such is life, right? But um, but when it happens, you kind of just take up the curve and you just say, "All right, let me straighten it out. Let me carry that cross or whatever it be." But yeah. But anyway, it's been an interesting day, and the funny thing. Sorry, get an H in my eye. No, the funny thing with the title, um, it was just I just made it. I just made it up, to be honest. Thankfully, I was told. Sorry. Uh, you get that something in your eye, and it's just like I gotta take care of it. No, I was grateful enough to at least know ahead of time that things were gonna change, so I changed some stuff, changed some all that jazz. It is what it is. But uh, yeah, it should be interesting. So anyway, how are all of you doing? Right? We've just come off from a 4 to 5 day holiday weekend, and I'm pretty sure everyone's like, please, let's go back, please. I certainly wish it was a little longer, but that's just me. That's just me. But uh, but yeah, it was an interesting weekend. Of course, did the 4th of July, was on a which was on a Thursday. Yes, the fourth was on a Thursday, and the weird thing is that you have this weird spatial thing where the holiday's on a Thursday, and then the next day is a weekday, and people have to go back to work or whatever, or some people, not all, and it was just like. I took that day off. I took that Friday off because like there's no way I'd be able to do anything for a holiday if it's just that, and then I have to go back to work. Sort of like what is it? Oh man, how would I describe it? It's sort of like going. Now I lost that too. But yes, it was a nice, relaxing 4th of July weekend. Could have been better. I mean, it could have been more, right? It could have been longer. Um, but it is what it is. And when when you're out there celebrating or whatever, she's got to let out the gutter. All right. But when when you have a situation like that, right? Because Christmas this year is going to be in the middle of a week. I'm like, come on, seriously? God, God dang it. So I have to take time off for that too. But you know what? Um, and I'm not much of a fireworks person, to be honest. As a kid, I really didn't enjoy the loud bangs because some of those sound like cannons going off or worse. And you never know. You never know. And I'm just, yeah. So fireworks hasn't been my thing for years and years. But they are pretty to look at. It's sort of like those sparklers you can wave around and just, except without the loud boom. Um, but yeah, I wish it was a little longer. I could have taken an extra day, but it wouldn't. it really wouldn't mean much because it's when you work a full time job, right? You work a full time job, you only get a set amount of this days, vacation days, and then PTO time and all other stuff, and it's just like, oh man, yeah, I hate it, but you kind of just have to figure it out, and but yeah, it was a nice time, and I came back, right? I came back, and I went to go see that new Angel Studios movie, Sound of Hope, the Possum Trot. Now, I don't really know too much about it, but I mean, um, after seeing some of the other ones, like what was the one? Calbrini? Yeah, Calbrini was one I saw that Angel Studios did. And that was a pretty good one. That was powerful. And then, of course, Sound of Freedom. Sound of Freedom was their biggest hit, Angel Studios, and it it proved itself at that point. And so I got back. I probably was maybe home for like half an hour to an hour because I was looking up like the movies and stuff, right? And so it was going to be on within like an hour's time. It's like, all right, well, take a break, and I want to go see it. And it's not an easy movie to watch. It is not an easy movie to watch because some of it may be exaggerated, some of it may be, you never know, but the movie itself is in the line. Uh, Sound of Hope, which I'm wondering if they're going to do a Sound of series, right? They've already done the Sound of Freedom, they've done the Sound of Hope. I don't know, Sound of Faith, maybe. I don't know. Um, but the movie is based on a real life situation where a town called, was it Possum Trot? Yeah, it's a town called Possum Trot, right? It's a town called Possum Trot that, at its base, right? Just a summary. The whole town decided to adopt children. Now, not a whole town all as one, but families within this town decided to adopt families because the lady, I can't remember the last name, but they had the lady who kind of started all over there. They already have a family though, and he had a special needs son, of course, and a daughter. And um, trying to figure out. Hold on, I gotta find out the last Martins. That's right, the Martins. So the Martins were, she had met this. She'd been to herself, and then she'd met this preacher man. Who she ended up marrying, and they had a church. It's very gospelly. At the baseline, it's very gospelly. It's very, if you've ever been to a gospel church, maybe seen an exaggeration on a TV show or movie, it's sort of like that. And so I went in not knowing what this movie was about, other than it was a story about a town adopting, and so, or fostering, whatever you want to call it. And so I never even heard of the story Possum Trot. I didn't even know there was a place called Possum Trot in the country. Then again, there's a lot of weird names like White Pigeon. That's a weird name. What's another one? Oops, spider. Um, Possum Trot. Yeah. So I just I just went to go see it because again, it's Angel Studios. They've proven themselves with Sound of Freedom and then Calbrini. Great movie in its own right. I never saw the other ones like the jumping across parallel worlds one, or the other one which was about death, but I can't remember what the name of it was. Can't remember the name. And so I went in to go watch this movie. Now, of course, it's just a dumb thing. They're playing up these commercials, and a big chunk, some of it's the Angel Studio stuff, so you're gonna see that. But it was I don't know how many minutes till I got the movie, because the movie itself, it says about 2 hours 7, 2 hours 8. And So like I was like, okay, well, I can't remember how long the Sound of Freedom was, but it's probably within in a margin for how long their movies would be. So I want to go see it. There wasn't many people there, ironically, because it was for the Sound of Freedom. But you can only hit so many hits before you're just like you have to kind of coast a bit. Um, and what? And it sort of tells us again. It sort of tells her the Miss Martin. Let me look up her name first because I can't remember her first name. Um, this could be interesting. Nope, that's not how you spell possum. Oh, there we are. Ooh, possum tribes are mostly working class African Americans. Oh, that was 2008. Oh wow. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to possum. Oh no, I have to look under the film. Sound of Freedom. Nope. Sound of Hope. There we are. Ah, let me show you. And I need to. Ta-da! There we go. It's or simply known as Possum Trot. Inspired by a true story, the film follows Donna and Reverend Martin. That's it, Donna Martin. Trying to figure it out. Whoa! Holy crap! Took place in Macon, Georgia, with a budget of 8.5 million. Holy crap! It was announced that Angel Studios acquired North American distributor to the film. Okay, so I'm guessing it was not originally done by Angel Studios. No, that's not bad. 8.5 million. That's a lot less than Sound of Freedom. But yeah, it's based off. Let me go back. Here we go. Here's the story of. Picture this. 2008. So 2008 is when this thing happened. November 19th. So 2008, 2007, 2008 maybe. But it's basically just the town of Postrat turned into this fostering care with many different families doing it. And of course they got kids that were really difficult to handle, kids who've been used and abused and all this sort of stuff. It's horrendous. It is very horrendous of what happened to these kids. Um, Parents who shouldn't have been parents became parents, and yeah, that's what happens. Not a pretty world. Um, but it talks about the story about the Reverend and Donna, and of course, again, like I said, they had two of their own kids. Princeton, I think, was one, and I can't remember the other one. But special needs was Princeton, and obviously, so they got kind of go through the struggles. But she's in I think it was she was in a crisis of faith. For the beginning of it, she isn't sure of something, right? She has this feeling within herself, and she isn't sure of something. Very religious, of course. Again, very gospel. Um, and what was it? They weren't sure. I'm trying to remember from memory. I'm trying to remember from memory, so I apologize. Okay, come on. Um, so I can't remember what it was that activated this thing that she wanted to go and adopt, but um, she couldn't because of her son Princeton, who has special needs. She says she couldn't have more kids or didn't want more kids, something like that. I can't remember the true story, but at a certain point, she hears something about um, adoption or fostering or something of that nature. And no, wait, no, that's right. So whatever was happening with her, so it's a 2-hour movie. I'm trying to go back. So it's a 2 hour movie. It's like you're trying to get out of me like, what was it, 2 hours? Oh dear Lord. Um, so she's having a tough time. She's having an internal issue of faith. Can't remember the reason or rhyme, just that she is distracted. Okay. Now I remember. All right, now I remember. Her mom, her mom was a special woman that raised 18 kids, I believe what it was. And I know I'm backtracking over myself. It the juices are flowing again. Um, so her mom, I believe it was her mom, raised 18 kids of herself. She'd always pray over them, whatever. And in the scene, and spoilers, guys, this is spoilers. So, but it's still a good movie to go see and support. Um, so what happens is she goes. We see the scene with the great grandma, obviously, and she starts showing signs of having a heart attack. Now, obviously, she goes sit down because she might think it's something else, whatever. Um, she tries to call for help. That gets interrupted, and of course, Donna, Miss Donna is coming home and she sees one of the neighborhood kids, run up to her, and so she's kind of getting a feeling that something's wrong. And of course, we go through this process. She's lost her mom and all this other stuff, and she is lost. In that moment, she's lost without her, and you kind of see this depression stuff set in, and she kind of forgoes family at a certain point, her kids, whatever, and she's just lost. And so she kind of goes to the home where her mama used to raise them, her and her siblings. And it was just a shack type of shack sort of thing. And now it's all decrepit and nobody lives in it anymore. And she goes there and she's kind of praying and all this other stuff. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of these kids start, playing with each other in the area. They're far away from her, obviously. They're over in the distance and she can see them, but the bunch of kids come, neighborhood kids, and they start playing with her. And then she sort of gets this feeling of like, maybe that's it. And then we, come back home and she's making calls, whatever. And she's going through this process of wanting to do adoption or fostering or whatever it may be. And I'm trying to think. And of course, they have to go. They live the Possum Tribe. It's way, way out there. It's not. It's a town its own right, but it's far away from any big city or whatever. And so she has to go into the city to take some teaching courses, I guess, for fostering, whatever. Oh, was there smoke? But she goes with a friend, and the lady there, I think her name is Susan. I think it's the name of the social worker or whatever, adoption you wouldn't call fostering care, whatever. And she's, you know, they do a video. We don't see the video, but they do like an intro video, whatever, which is just, it looks like a corny 90s movie video where it's just like, and I'm here to tell you how to sell more stock for you and all that kind of stuff. It was just corny that way. Oh man. But so then after that video plays, right, they go into the deep stuff. They talk about kids who are taken away because of what was some of the reasons? Not the heavier stuff, but it was like there was some reason about uh, uh, neglect. There was neglect. Neglect was there, and then of course abuse. And that's such a hard thing. Now they did show pictures in essence. Nothing, nothing too daunting, whatever. But you do get the sense of feeling that there are these kids who were born to people who should have never been parents, right? But they became parents anyway. How screwed up is that, right? And so after seeing her and her friend, obviously, after seeing these pictures of these kids, one was, oh, what was that? One of these kids that they showed, I can't remember the name. Probably not based on the, not real kids' names because of the kids, because all that stuff. Well, one of the kids had been hooked on drugs, basically. I think it was cocaine. I think it was the drug they had mentioned right off the bat. Right. And then you had um it is I can't remember about the others because it was hard. It was hard to be shown some of those things. And we go about our daily lives. Some of you already have kids, some of you going through that. But when you realize that a lot of kids, through neglect or some horrendous thing of their supposed parents, right? You ask yourself the question, how did this person, you know, how did it come to be? And there's a multitude of reasons. Multitude of reasons. Anyway, so we're getting back. And she and her friend, they she kind of gets into it with her husband, who's a reverend preacher. And I can't remember. He eventually agreed. He eventually agreed to, because he didn't want to be bothered. They already have a kid who's special needs, and all this other stuff. So it's kind of like extra. And I don't think throughout all this, I don't think we get to see him again, to a certain extent. And so it's kind of a sad thing because he is part of that family. But whatever. Regardless, they agree to the first bout, and so once they get that all those things settled, they what was it? No, there was. I think they do meet, and no. Okay, I apologize. I'm going through 2 hours of stuff. Okay, it's um. So what was it? There was the social worker, right? The person, whatever, at the adoption place. They were having trouble finding a home for this boy and girl, brother and sister, and the majority of the people weren't they calling back. These are people who've been forever, and she was at her last resort. Right? She was at wit's end. Susan, I think it was. She was at wit's end, and she she kind of goes to her boss and says, "How about the Martins?" Right? They just knew they're just starting out, whatever. Like, oh yeah, they're due. Oh, well. Anyway, they work something out, and in the and the brother and sister, I think the sister was a little older, they get adopted to the Martins. And of course, they get there, and the little boy is just like, excited or whatever. He goes out. His sister is hesitant, so she stays in the car. But the little boy goes out, hugs the mom, hugs Miss Martin, hugs Mr. Martin, and sort of fine there. And then the girl is kind of hesitant and stuff, and she, the social worker, whatever you want to call her, Susan, goes in and talks to her a bit, and you are given a few moments, right? She's trying to ask what's going on or whatever, and they're not like the people who on that remark of harm, and so it takes a while, right? It takes a while for something to happen, but she does eventually come around, and she comes around, and what was it? And they sort of get into it. Now, of course, there's a point where um, you know, they've been there for a bit. You know, it's the day is ending and stuff, and she wants to, get her new kids ready for bath and all stuff. Well, the she I can't remember what the word, but she starts, Tyler. Tyler was the young kid. I can't remember the older one. Mercedes, I think it was. I think it was Mercedes. We'll just stick with Mercedes. Um, and so while she's going to, take off the shirt and stuff, she sees these. I think they're burn marks, or cigarette marks, whatever, on his skin, and it's just she keeps it cool. She keeps going on, and then she's trying to run the bath, whatever, and she has time to take a bath, and he just screams his head off. He just screams his head off. And, Reverend Martin comes in, or Mr. Martin comes in, and they're trying to calm the kid down. They're just trying to, hey, don't want to take a bath? It's okay. Just calm it down. Or just calm it down. Just calm it down. Take it slow. And so they get their first taste of it, of being foster parents, or adoptive parents. I can't really remember if they were foster or adoptive. Um, and so after that, the next morning, Sunday service, obviously, the Reverend talks about, a bit about this stuff, but also adopting kids and whatnot. And I believe it's from that point that the people of the congregation are inspired to adopt, because there are a lot of kids out there, again, with people who you don't know how they came to be parents, but they did. And yeah, yeah, so that was something. And so that's the beginning of the town. Oh, of course, throughout the series, they there's another girl that comes in to the Martin home. Her name is Terry. She acts like a kitten at times. She does these things to kind of push the envelope, right? Because something happened to her. We do know. I can't remember what it was, so I apologize. But we get to the story where Terry is sort of the main focus for a while, and also the townspeople, because they're taking care of, they've come to adopt these kids. They finally got um, the Reverend Martin has talked to Susan, saying this whole group wants to adopt a child, and she's like, well, and sort of going through that process. And in order to get to the point, like everyone can't come to her for these classes or whatever that need to be done in order to get to that point. So they find some way in order to take their teachings over to the church, obviously, and they go through that whole process, and a lot of families, and pretty much a big chunk of the congregation, uh, adopts children. So yeah, it was a lot. I believe it said it was like 22 families adopted 77 kids. I'm not too sure. It's been a while, because I saw it Saturday. Um, and of course, the character Terry goes through, based on a real person, goes through a lot of stuff, this and that or whatever. It is I may go see it. I may go see it again, just because there was some stuff that was a little hard to watch through. But this, in its true intent, is a movie about hope, right? Like you have a bunch of kids who are put in the system for one reason or another, whether it be because of neglect or something much, much worse. And a mom is inspired to adopt, which in turn turns into a congregation, a town, to adopt. And you do see the rough parts. Very hard. Very hard. Some of the families feel like giving up. Some of the families get into this argumentative state with the kids because they want just the kids. And that's for any parent, right? For any parent, you just want your kids to listen, but there's a level of understanding. That's just the topic of being a parent. Now, being a foster parent, there's a little more difference because it's not your kid. You don't know fully what they've gone through. You don't feel what they feel during this time. You are just outsiders to the in here. Here. And for what it's worth, right? For what it's worth, I didn't know anything about this. Again, I just showed you the news clipping was like November 19th, 2008. That was 20, no, it was 16 years ago. 16 years ago. And at the end of the movie, they talk about how there's like 400, almost 500,000 children within the foster care system or the adoption care system, whichever it is, what you want to call it. And they said there was 100,000 waiting to be adopted. That's sad. You know, people want to talk about feed the hungry, feed the homeless, and all this stuff, but we worry too much about our own politics, whatever. But when we have people, right? We have people who become parents for some weird for the natural state of things, right? Like we know how people become parents. How these people become parents, and for some of them, the disastrous abuse some of these kids get put through. I don't know. I've had family members who've done the fostering care. One cousin decided to adopt the kid she was fostering. One of the kids was a child of, it was of a baby of someone who taken drugs. I can't remember what the other two were. They were siblings, so they weren't separated. But just like inside of Freedom, where kids from all over the world were being used and abused for whatever greed or anything like that. This is a story about how some people, for what it's worth, become parents when they have lost control on their own lives and continue to do so even when they had kids. There was one, I think this was the Terry one, where I guess she got involved in some Hispanic guy or whatever. At least that's what they portray. Right? At least that's what they portray. They portray some Hispanic guy or whatever, and he's arguing back and forth. And of course, the little girl's trying to call 911. And he's demanding money, right? Like, where's my money? Show me the money, all that stuff. And it can be devastating, let's say the least. Now, I'm not saying I'm in any position to do that sort of thing, nor would I know, but at the end of it, yeah, it was rough. And you get to see the real Reverend Martin and Miss Donna Martin. And I'll tell you what, she looks a lot. There's the end of the movie. They do their monologue speech at the end. And I gotta tell you, Miss Donna looked a lot younger than her husband. But there was a funny bit too at the end. Taking out your phone, looking at the QR code, paying it forward to movie tickets, whatever. And I really think that's a neat idea that a studio, Angel Studio, is using the concept of paying it forward or reciprocity in order for more people to become aware of something that they believe matters more, right? Now, the same way with Sound of Freedom, right? Sound of Freedom was made to make you aware just of how dastardly a majority of us become. But again, we have limited bandwidth, right? Like, who here cares about the Chinaman in Hong Kong who's sick and lying on his bed? Not sure if there is, but I'm just saying in relevance to this. How many of you are thinking about the Scotsman, Scotswoman who has lost a job because a limb was lost in some weird process or whatever? Do you ever think about orphans in the UK? Not sure if they are. I mean, there probably is. What about the homeless? No, right? I mean, our bandwidth is to here, right? Family, friends, job, dear Lord, job, the house, whatever it is. Our bandwidth is so taken up by everything around us that you never think about anyone else in the world. Because why would you, right? They don't affect your current standing with what's going on in life, whether you're busy with work, family, all this stuff. If you have a family, do not take it for granted. Because to watch this movie of a family, it's not related by blood. It was like two, but not all related by blood, but by different pieces of other people coming together because those people couldn't take care of them. And of course, there are older adults too, grandparents, whatever, where not taken care of is that either. So whether you're young or old, there's going to come to a point where you may be on your own. So look, I don't know much about adoption or fostering. I know of a sibling who's fostering right now, inspired by a cousin who was fostering and then adopted her children. Those children, three of them. I had an aunt who was fostering for a bit, for a time. She doesn't do anymore. Um, I've had on someone like Jen from a while back. I hope she's doing well. Uh, who talked about her story and her experience as a child, and then the experience with her as an adult having a kid. And it just can open your eyes a bit. Like, what can I do? Right? What can I help him at if I can't? If I can't, if I'm not financially able to, of course, have my own home, but adopt or foster or anything that matter, or have the temperament or the patience, or whatever. What can I do? Because I think that not all movies are gonna be like that from Angel Studios. They had the shift, they had Kelbrine, all this stuff. When it hits on those marks of humanity, like Sound of Freedom, like Sound of Hope, you have to question yourself: how is it I stopped thinking about these things? We can't think about everyone, can we? We can't think about all the small problems everyone else has, can we? Because if we don't think about our own, then we won't live as well, and we can't help others. And I'm not saying I'm a saint of any kind, dear Lord. I am no saint at all. But and this is something I'll actually do. After the Sound of Freedom ordeal, I had donated to the OUR, which was the Operation Underground Railroad. The thing he was Tim Ballard was a part of before he left it onto something else. We can't be the crime fighters of the world, our own cities, when we have our own issues in life to deal with. Maybe some things can change. Maybe some things can be inspired by to want to change, right? Whether it's small or big, doesn't matter. But after you see those things, right? After you see the sound of freedom, or after you see the sound of hope, one cannot sit idly by as they have now been shown this, what was it? Not a door, well, maybe a doorway, a view. The curtains of the window have been opened, and now you are shown a view that is ugly, despicable, just downright awful. But what do I know? I just went to see a movie. And like I said, there are some hard parts to it. There's some parts where you're going to want to turn away. Same with Sound of Freedom. But it's a reminder that the systems we've created, right? We've created these systems. We've created the adoption system. We've created the fostering system. We've created the government. We've created all these different things. Our ancestors did too, right? Things don't get here just by appearing. They come over a long period of time. We've created all these things in one way or another to be a beneficial tool to help those of the helpless and to at least pay it forward so we alleviate some pain in the future. But I'm here to tell you that we create our own double-edged swords. We create our own problems, which is the irony of humanity, right? We create our own problems and we try to find solutions to deal with it, which is great, right? You want to be able to solve for the x, like x times 2 equals 6. Because if you don't, then who knows, right? So I figured I'd share that bit. So hopefully it's not too much of a downer for the rest of us. But I figured it was important to share because we tend to forget, even in our digging into using the internet, social media, all these tools, content creation, whatever, we tend to forget we aren't alone. But through some magical thinking, some brain chemistry, or form of it, we believe we are. And this is what makes EOL, end of life. Hey, Flip City. Hey, Christy. How are you? It's Darachat. No, you're fine. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Where was I? Dang it, Christy. No, where was I? Shoot. I was on a roll. It's okay. I'll get back. I'll be like the great Houdini and I will get back to it soon. But yeah, it was a movie that needed to be seen, tough at times. But if you did see The Sound of Freedom, then The Sound of Hope, it's not in the same detail, but it will still do with kids. It will still deal with the dark side of humanity, and it will still show that there's still some good in the world, regardless if one can see it or not. Hey, Fatal. How are you, sir? Glad to see you here. More than 50 minutes in. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, it was a very, very interesting movie. Maybe some people agree with me, maybe won't, which is fine. But the point of the movie was to point out that we have created these systems. Wow, what's the word? Flawed. They've become more and more destructive. Adoption, fostering these systems tend to become misused, abused. You hear these stories all over, whether it be from one side or another. It is an uncanny thing. But at the end of the day, the system we create in order to keep the rules we've set that bring a civility, right? Because no one wants to go to the Wild West and end up dead. Because if we were in the Wild West, rules or deals sort of thing, majority of us wouldn't still be alive. Right? It'd be like Genghis Khan sort of type of days, what it is. We set up these rules for ourselves to have some sort of civility, and we have it so hard to not only one for them to be misused and abused, and someone of higher power standing, whatever we call it, comes in and says, I'm going to use your rules against you. Ha 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 ha. Or people who create these weird, audacious, blocking, whatever rules that just don't make any sense, and they're like 3,000 pages long. You're like, I'm going to need an AI just to read this. We create our own problems and our own solutions. It's funny how, and I've said this before and again, human beings, no matter what they create, it comes as a double-edged sword. The sword itself, if you were to imagine a sword, look up, I'm imagining I'm holding a sword, right? Use your imagination and close your eyes if you have to. I'll do a little ASMR. It's like, imagine if you will. Imagine a sword lying on the ground. No one touches it, does nothing, whatever. What do you think that happens to that sword? Could be kicked around. People could trip over it. Maybe hurt themselves because it's sharp sword, right? But the sword doesn't do anything. It cannot move. It cannot speak. It can't even dance. That'd be a weird thing to see a sword dance, to be honest with you. I don't think I want to. But when we create these things, whether we're an expert in whatever field, whether you're a blacksmith to the candle maker, to whatever expert in your field, you create a product, an item, a thing. You breathe a form of life, not like that kind of life, but you breathe a form of life into the world that has the power to be both good, used for good, and for evil. The carrying concept of that alone, the sword can rust. That's true. Yes, it can rust. It'll be dull, like me probably at this point. Bueller. But he decided to come to the show, and I'm grateful for it. And I'm looking forward to this weekend, Miss Christie. But it's sort of the thing where you have to stop and think about, because at the end of the day, we're so busy trying to live, eat, pay bills, take care of family if you have a, pay for the car, all these things that require a lot of our bandwidth. This right here. Not my hat, it's the brain. I don't want people saying, your hat? Is that the bandwidth? No, the brain part. Every day, a little piece of something externally happens and requires a bit of our attention. Boom, another piece of bandwidth gone. Boom, another moment of time gone to focus on this. Boom, 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 boom. Your brain is being catapulted into the valley of arrows. And you're lucky you don't get diced and sliced by all of them, right? But it's just a thing where our worries and concerns are the highest priority in our lives, right? The news and stuff, or not the highest. The news isn't the highest priority, but they can make things a high priority in the mental shelf. What happens when the news brings up something? Oh, something's happening in Ukraine. Well, that just bounced right up to a degree. Oh, the government's giving away more money. Boot! Reaching up higher. Oh, my kid keeps getting a D in this subject and that subject, and I'm truly trying hard to figure out why, and blah, 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 blah. Bandwidth after bit of bandwidth taking up by the external things in this world. A big chunk of it's important. I'm not trying to down that at all. I'm just saying to worry about things about like what the Sound of Freedom was about and the Sound of Hope about don't get brought to light unless someone's willing to bring it to light. And even then, people can easily ignore or just like, whatever. Which is the true sad part. And again, I'm not any better. I'm here talking to a camera about a movie I saw and whatever. I gotta do something for an hour at least, right? Now I can do this for an hour. But it's one of those things that I kind of think about and say, wow, we really kind of screw our own pooch. Not like that, but that's a turn of phrase you don't want to be somebody saying, wait a second, what do you mean by that? Not like that, not like that, calm down. And we wonder why things are the way they are. Why is government bad? Why is schools bad? Why people bad? Why this? Why that? Why whatever? Because after a while, it lessens the bandwidth used, the convenience of technology, right? Like, who likes being able to call grandma from miles away? You get my drift? It's not grandma. No, it is. Who enjoys being able to have instantaneous access to text someone from states over and have it be right on the dot? Technology is its own double-edged sword. You're already hearing the news about it, right? You can throw the whole AI thing in there. You can throw the whole states banning porn thing in there. You can do all this entertainment in Hollywood or human trafficking. You can throw all these things in the pot. And by the end of the day, you will be so worn out. You may not even have time for your own life. So you do what you can, right? You help where you can with what little you can give. No one expects perfection from anyone. I certainly don't, and I'm not perfect. So I was gonna say, yeah, we get it. Yep, we get it. Yep, we get it. Yep. I don't know. I think once in a while we tend to forget that while we, to some regard, think of ourselves alone, right? I know people do the whole alien bit, whatever, but I'm here to tell you, you've got a whole globe of people where you are not alone at all. And I'm just throwing this out as a theory, right? Just a thought. I feel like when people talk about beyond the stars to see what more is out there, part of curiosity, right? Like you want to see what's behind the veil. Wizard of Oz, right? Wizard of Oz, you don't know who's behind the curtain, but he says, don't look behind the curtain. You're like, he says, don't look behind the curtain, but I want to look behind the curtain. And you get curious enough, you see behind the curtain, and it's just a man messing with knobs and stuff. Same with humanity and curiosity, right? We want to see what's beyond Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars, Pluto, if we want to still call Pluto a planet. I know some people do, some people don't care. Still a planet. Still a planet. Can't take away from me. Can't do none of that crap. But the thing of it is that what about here? Right? What about the people here? The suffering. We want to go beyond the stars. We want to see what's out there beyond it. But what about here? We can talk about all the fantasy shows like Star Trek, whatever, about how everyone's, there's no poor people or whatever. That's a hope of. It's not going to be a real thing. Maybe technology will advance, but we could also have something like idiocracy, where technology advances so much that we just convenience it out. I'm not saying all technology is wrong, but we certainly do have let a majority of into our lives that if the United States was ever EMP'd, good luck. Same with content creators. You guys are all, I mean, I have a full-time job, but you guys are all out of work if the power ever goes out in the United States and it never comes back on again. Better start learning some better start learning some campfire making skills. I know I have to. Oh goodness. Oh man. Somebody's like, so you know how to make a fire? You're an arsonist, aren't you? No. Anyway, guys. Serious time. Gotta go serious. Serious stuff. Okay. Okay, guys. So it's the top of the hour. So you know I gotta do my bit. So yes, I streamed both YouTube and Rumble and YouTube. Right? I streamed both of them at Daramouthe. This is how you spell it. I mean, come on, guys. This is how you spell it right here. Down below. You see that? Yeah, that's how you spell it. I have a Discord at Daramouthe, but that's mostly for DMing because honestly, I've heard the horror stories of making servers. And no. Hold on. Sorry about that. I also have a TwitterX account at Daramouthe, TwitterX fan account at Daramouthe. I also have an email right here. Again, guys, all those links are down in the link tree below. Again, I know guest wasn't feeling well. I made sure, at least before the other show, if things were still okay or not. And of course, I got that answer, and that's why it's a solo stream. Tomorrow it won't be, but today it is. But guys, if you want to if you guys want to take the opportunity that I offer, that I give, right? As long as you're respectful, as long as you have a mic, no big gamer words, okay? The door is open for you. Look, I don't know how many people at this point. I'm still trying to count, right? I'm still making templates that help me count how many people I have. I don't know. At the end of the day, though, this door is open to you if you want to come on. I've had people that haven't shown their face. Don't want to show your face? Fine. Whatever. You nervous? You jitterbug or whatever? I've had people like that too. Happy Mars told me he was nervous when he first came on. And that's great. That's great. One, it shows you're willing to take a chance. You're willing to take the leap of faith. And two, to overcome a fear you thought you might never had before. All right, we're not meeting in person, okay? I might not be as outgoing as I am in person. I don't know. Hey, mediocre camera girl. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Christy. Yes, you are correct. Almost everyone is out of work, except. Well, I don't know. I don't know which ones are. Anyway, I gotta get back to the thing. If you want to take the opportunity that I offer, right? Being respectful, of course, because I'm not here for you arguers, not here for you debaters, not here for you troll people that just want to make a mess and not have a conversation. Don't care. Don't need to interact. We're too caught up in fighting with each other that we forget we can have a conversation and disagree and walk away with a smile on our face. That's what I offer. Down in the link tree below, if you want to find me, or if you just want to leave a comment on either YouTube or Rumble, you are more than welcome to, because at the end of the day, it starts with me asking, but it ends with you taking the chance to say yes. Because I can't force you. Not that I would want to, honestly. That'd make me look bad. But the door is open. All you do is say yes. Whether it's leave a comment on YouTube or Rumble, or go to the link tree. Options are up to you. Now the second part, probably the annoying part. I know you've heard 1,000 different YouTube creators say share, like, and subscribe, that whole ordeal. Look, right? I say it because I know if I want to have more people on, I've got to be seen more. In order to be seen more, I have to have help with my engagement. Is it a fun thing? No. But I tell you what, it's always a surprise when I see a lot of people either leave a comment, leave a like, they maybe share one of the shorts or a link to the stream or whatever, and they give a follow. Why is that important, you ask? Is because the reach to this that I've been doing, right? Like I've reached, there are going to be so many new people this month. It's going to be insane. The reach for this can be so far expanding. I'm rich. I don't have big fancy cameras. I rent a room out of a home. The point of the matter is the reach for this can be so far and so wide, and the amount of people who can come on and be touched by it, or just think, oh, so there is this thing where you can just chat about whatever, and it's not about a certain topic or 24/7 news of the day. Yes. Oh, yes. But I can't do with the side of the coin, right? It's like getting healthy. There's the exercising part, and then there's the eating right part. So there's two halves to this. And the other one of the halves is engagement. So you guys, you see it now or you see it later. All I ask, leave a like, leave a comment. If you haven't followed, follow. Or share one of the videos, whether it be a short or a stream. Anything you can do, whether it be one of it or all of it, helps. Because I can be turned away. I'm a nobody to majority of these people. You wanna find somebody who has 1,000 followers, whatever. They're mostly on the gaming side, or people who do the news or politics, whatever. I could give a rat's behind about politics, to be honest. That's just me, though. But I want to bring this thing to an extending rate that it can be just about anyone who wants to come on. Because again, I can still be ignored. I can still be tossed aside and say, oh, his numbers aren't that big enough. oh, he doesn't get this, he doesn't get that, whatever. The point of the matter is to slap them all in the face and say, haha, I win. not, not like that. But I do appreciate any help you guys are willing to give, because at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to filling the rest of the year with many different new faces and old ones, and seeing where this goes, because I didn't think I'd be here where I'm at now. I don't make a lot on this. It's not a money maker for me. I have a full-time job, and even if I made enough to whatever, I'd still have a part-time job, because this is just as followable as anything else. If you've been done pizza driving, if you've been a waiter, if you've done anything that's with tipping, content creation is like that. Nothing but a big system of tipping. But I appreciate it all the same. So, but yes. Anyway, yeah, it's still a struggle. Like, I think I only have, what is it? I think I only have one day left I haven't filled yet, which is for next week. Well, I can get it filled if I push for something, or not, because that is a Friday. So, because there's that. Because this Friday is going to be interesting. I'm going to have Fauplich on at midnight on the 12th, which will be turning into the 13th. So, and that will be an interesting one. So it won't be. I'm not going to go from 7 to midnight. I do not have that will and testament to try that. So maybe another time. So it'll be split. The Friday will be split between the Pay It Forward, a Red Eye stream. Look, if I don't have other people there, Meg, it's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. It is too long. But yes, at midnight is when he's going to be able to come on. Hey, Steve, look at him. Look at him right there. Look, Steve comes back again. It's pretty awesome, Steve. Tonight. Oh yeah, see both mods on there. It was just talking about the Sound of Hope, the possum trot story thing, and then just rambling on about other life aspects. But no, it's going well. It's going well. But yeah, it's gonna be. It was the only time he could come on at midnight. So I don't know if it's just different country, whatever. But at the end of the day, I'll be glad to have him on, and I'll probably take a nap in between. So, but yeah, so it'll be interesting. But this month, except for one day, which is a Friday, so that'll be iffy. But the thing of it is that there's so many more people out there, so many more conversations to be had, and it's mind blowing. I never know these. Yes, it is Monday. It is Monday, Steve. It is Monday. Although in the UK, it's probably closer to Tuesday for you, because almost midnight. A little close. Yeah, but I'm not gonna do a 5 straight hours from or 4 straight hours, whatever it is, from the Pay It Forward stream to midnight, because there's no way. I'm just gonna be honest. There's just no way I can do it. Sometimes I wish I had that problem. Which one was that? Is that the Monday problem, like Steve, or is it something else? I'm lost in my own conversation, guys. I apologize. What do you think? It's like, oh, dang it. But yeah. So, and then of course the Saturday I'll be trying something. So right now, just to let you know, on my Twitter X at Daramouthe, there is a poll going on. Now, the once a month thing that's going to happen this Saturday, I've put out a poll for a name thing, right? So there's 3 that have a name of what that show could be, and then a write-in. So if you want to go to @Daramouthe on Twitter X and vote in that poll, it will be in my profile. But it'll help me in this is me opening the door for community. Oh, don't feel lost, Steve. You're here with friends. Just don't go 2 doors to the left. That's all I'll say. But yeah, on Twitter X at Daramouthe, at the fan account, I am doing a poll for basically choosing a name for this Saturday's event at 9 p.m. Eastern. So far, right now, I believe the Darachat hangout and the ride-in are neck to neck. Now, obviously, this is going to go for 2 more days. I did it for 3 days total because 3 is a magic number, right? But because it'll be done before the show comes on. So whatever comes in, I'll try to do. If Riden wins, I'll collect some of the highlights or whatever. But I was really hope there was the one I wanted to put in is not up there. So yeah, but yeah. So if you wouldn't mind taking some time to vote in a poll to see which way the wind blows, because I had an idea for one, but it had something that would have made it similar to other things. So I'm not gonna say what it is. I'm gonna give you guys some headway. Come on. I don't have a Twitter account. Well, just pick 1, 2, 3, or 4. That's fine. If you don't have one, that's fine. But the ones who do, go vote in the poll. See which one sounds good to you, and hopefully by Saturday I'll have a name, and then we will have a great time. Oh, and I haven't put the names of the people who are coming in. So I do have the names of the people who are coming on this Saturday. And of course, I was trying to figure out, would it be like 4 people total? Would it be 5 people total? Because I'm not interested in doing the FNT model because that's just one too many people, or the Geeks and Gamers model, which is still one too many people. I figured 4 people is good enough. That includes me, right? Like 3 other people than me, because I don't want the conversation to get too lost. So the 3 other people who are joining me this Saturday, and I'll remind you throughout the week. How long have you been doing this streaming thing, Dara? Going through my YouTube side, it's been since August of last year. So I was doing pre-recorded videos on both ends, but they weren't getting very many views, to be honest. And they're still there. But since last August, I don't know the date though, so it's just August. So my 1 year will be next year, although I did start making video stuff in... Oh, which ones were that? I heard your words during Gary's stream last night with the Stargate hippie show. Yeah, well, Gary is a bit of hippie himself, but he was born during an era. But what words? Because there were a lot of words I said. I was there at the Nooner today on Rumble, so yeah. If it's trying to sound out my name, then yeah, that was interesting. I tried to make it as easy as possible to know how to spell it, but yeah, it doesn't put me in with any of them. But one day, I'll get up there and have anyone on. I've already had Tom Connors on. He's from Midnight's Edge. Nick Weiser this week, who's also been on Midnight's Edge, will be on this week. Who knows? But once I get them, there's more people. It doesn't matter if they're big or small. It matters that they're willing to come on and have a conversation. My words running with me. And just chat. Like Miss Christie has. Like Meg has. Like Alpha Omega has. And so many other... Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I was on the pre-show for FNT on YouTube, but then I went over to Rumble because I will just say this, I really do want to see Nerdrotics grow well on Rumble. I want Rumble to get better with their tech stuff in order for Nerdrotics wanting to stay. There is a lot of things. I hope that the synergy works out, that Nerdrotics does stay after the deal's done, or if they sign him up for another deal, that he'll keep staying, because I've always said Nerdrotics, they should have, instead of giving Ms. Kiff, Rice Gum, Sneeko, all these people a contract, which really didn't work, do very much, to give Gary Neurotic a contract with Rumble to help bring people over to the platform is a better investment, at least from my point of view. That's biased. I'll agree to it. But Gary brings something, and of course, Geeks and Gamers, D-Day Cobra doing pretty well. Over time, he's built up. Nina Infinity built up. All these other content creators who used to be just YouTube only are now using Rumble as well, and another platform. Totally fine. My point is giving Gary Neurotic a contract with Rumble is a better investment than the other ones they gave to. Quartering, sure, worked out well. Possibly, but that we aren't privy to those deals. We're just privy to, hey, we're doing this thing with such a company and all that stuff. So maybe, but I think they'd be fair enough to him because one, he does have 1 million subs. Two, he did get a lot of outside press, with the Fox thing and all this other stuff. So I think that I'm not Gary's not dumb. I'm gonna say that right now. Gary's not dumb. He's older, but he's not dumb. So, but I do want to be able to see FNT grow more there. I want them to take. I want Gary and Neurotics to take full advantage of what Rumble offers, and of course, yes, there's some things they're still behind on. Yes, there are things that still need to be cleaned up. They just so if you're on YouTube, Rumble, right? If you're on Rumble now, you can just click on the name. Okay, I'm going Rumble. You can go in the chat on Rumble and click on the username, and that way you won't have to do the tapping thing in. You can just click on the name and then type in the thing. Much quicker, much easier. So if you haven't tried it out yet, I would go try it out. So I can tap on here. I have at Fatal Listing. Hey, boom. Took me just a few seconds. Yeah, it's right up there. There's a lot of things they still need to add. There's a lot of things that Rumble Studios they need to add to. But at the end of the day, I believe in Rumble's future. Is it perfect? No. Yes. Yes, it is. You just click on the. It's weird though. Clicking on the name would also take you to the place, which I hope they still keep. But yeah, it is, and it very much. I don't know if YouTube does it, but if YouTube doesn't do it, guess what? Rumble just upped its game. Still some things it needs to work on, but that just. So hopefully there are more goodies in work. I do know Rick Rack had said that polls will be coming in the future, TBD. So not sure when, but the thought is there. Haven't heard anything on gifted subs yet because I know that's another thing too. Again, all of Rumble, even after all this time, is still a work in progress. Every platform is. They don't have the infinite resources of Amazon or Google. So, and I've said this many times over. I will praise Rumble when it does well. I will admonish Rumble and point out the wrongs when it does poorly. Why? Because Rumble needs to understand if they want to be competitive, they must compete. And competing means that during when you're training, right? For the Olympics, when you're training for stuff, you're training whether you're training for track, whether you're training for this, getting the endurance and all this stuff, you are going to be judged by your coach. And he's going to tell you, you need to work on this form, you need to work on that form. Same with the content creators. All the content creators want all the things that YouTube has already, but Rumble has to do it in its own way. This cannot be a copy paste because then it's not Rumble. It is just YouTube, whatever. I believe in Rumble's future. I know it has it in it, but it must compete. And it's getting there. Still a long way, but it is getting there. And I support it. I'll support more creators on with what little resources I have. To be honest with you, very little. But I'll support in what way I can because I believe in its future potential, and I wouldn't make it my only platform, but I certainly wouldn't. I'd make it a main base, but I wouldn't make it my only platform. That's just me. And I've said it many times why I wouldn't, but regardless, there are many other stuff they need to add. The quality of life stuff for their apps, obviously. Hopefully the new ad thing can be added into the apps, because, and I think he did. I think Rick Red did say it. But at the end of the day, that I would see that much easier than typing it in. If they could do the at thing they just did now, that they just added today for the website, and just put that in the app, good lord. Forget about typing in, just boop. I mean, keep the typing just in case you forget, but boop, done. Golden, over. I just think there's still more room to grow. I do hope they expand their team, because the situation with support, whether it be for the tech issues or the money issues, they need to get fixed pronto. They need to be addressed as quickly as possible, because yes, Rumble is still small. You want to compare it to how many people work for YouTube? Thousands. Thousands. How many work for Rumble? Probably a couple hundred, because it's still small. It's still on the small end. Its resources are finite. Google's resources are nigh infinite. All right. Yes, it says YouTube, but behind it is Google, because Google is YouTube, YouTube's Google, whatever. But I still believe in its future. Yeah, it'd be nice if Gary Nerdrotics would do a majority of his shows over, but one step at a time. This is a great step. This is a great step for not only Nerdrotics, because then we won't have to keep hearing about the YouTube side or whatever, because he does upload his stuff to Odyssey, I think Facebook, all this. Now he has Rumble to use. Now he's using Rumble. Contracted, sure. But at the end of the day, I believe this deal is a better deal. This is coming from someone who knows nothing about deals at all. I just know by the look of it, because Rumble has to get away from this politics stuff. It really does. I know it's the election season, so whatever, but if anyone can do it, if anyone can help get us away from all this stuff in a non-political sphere, whether it be the entertainment factor or whatever, because Film Threat's on here too. Film Threat puts their stuff on here, Geeks and Gamers, D-Day Cobra, all these people put their stuff on, but Gary is a bigger name compared to their numbers. I know, numbers thing, whatever. Point of the matter is what I'm saying is that this deal is great. I look forward to the future of it. I hope things will get more intuitive with, all the rant stuff and all this stuff, because it needs to be something that people can go click, 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 and not have to be so too technical about it. The one thing I wish they would get on to changing, but they haven't really done, is comments. The comment section is still a bit atrocious. It's not fun when it goes to like a 3-parter, like initial comment, then 3 replies, and then that's it. It just needs to be more cleaned up, the aesthetic. But that's probably the lowest thing on their list. I'd rather work on things that are quality of life, because that's the way Rumble's going to win, is by competing on quality of life. Sure, they answer when tech issues come up, but not always. And that's something that I think shouldn't be overlooked. Ooh. Payment is number one, yes. And like the news earlier, Stripe is coming to become in the fold of another payment option. I've heard some people may not want to use it, but payment needs to get out to the content creators who have reached a threshold. Look, I don't know the full back end. I don't know the legal. I don't know the financial. So I can't really give you anything more than just my perspective on it. But yes, payment does need to be number one. They're better than PayPal. Oh yeah. No, I understand that. I understand that. PayPal and check. Don't forget check. Better than check as well, because check, I think the last time I heard someone try to go for it was like 3 months. That's no bueno. That's no bueno. If you've earned it, like, sure, one day towards the end of the month, you get what you earned. Boom. Right? And then, of course, whatever you earned in that month, because you get paid for the previous month, right? So whatever you earned in the previous month gets paid in the next month, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I know that story. You haven't signed up for the PayPal thing yet, so I imagine you're waiting for the Stripe. So hopefully that comes through soon. Uh, yeah. So if you did your check, you're gonna be waiting months for it. That's just the quota I heard was like three something months. So I do the PayPal because it's a lot quicker. But I believe once the Stripe stuff gets added on, you will see probably a lot of relieved people because right now there aren't that many payment processors. And yeah, well, that's what I heard from one. But if it's more than 3 months, I don't know what to tell you. I've tried um, helping in all ranges, but I have little to no power to any availment. But I'll do what I can at all. So if any of the Rumble, oh, yeah, just keep an eye out. Just keep an eye out and let me know like sometime in the future if you ever get it. But yeah, if there's anyone in the Rumble people who are watching this, whether it be, I don't care what part of the division you are, look into Fatal Nexus stuff. March 15th, yeah. March 15th, yeah. March 15th, yeah, yeah. It's way past 3 months. April, May, yeah, it's about 4 months. April, May, June. Okay, so it's almost 4 months. Yeah, almost 4 months. But anyway, but yeah, there's still a lot of stuff that Rumble has to work on. Fatal Investing is the main channel. Yeah. I know. I know it's the main channel, but Rumble Studios does not have that differentiation and the thing yet. So don't look at me. But yeah, I hope I hope for the best, and again, I'll call out what needs to be. Now I think it was I did help vaping gamers try to get something for whatever. I didn't think it would work. I'm looking at you, me. I said fatal, fatal investing, fatal nexus. It doesn't matter. It says fatal. I did say fatal. Don't try to throw that bad mojo on me, sir. Don't you throw that at me, Bobby. uh, but yeah, I I'll still use it. I'll still use Rumble Studios because it's free for me. Obviously, I just pay the 10 because of the ad stuff. So it's kind of like I have to watch the ad stuff, even though I have a break by there. But I want to see this platform grow. I don't want to resort to anger. I don't want to resort to yelling. I don't want to resort to all this childish stuff. I want to resort to saying, look, guys, keep hearing this stuff. I'd like it to get better. I don't know how to help it make you. I don't know how to help you guys to make it better. But I just know this. If more people need to be hired, then that may need to be looked into. If a system needs to be built in order for stuff to be delivered to you in a better way so that you can respond to it within at least 72 hours. Let's give it a good 3 days. Let's say 3 days time. It shouldn't take more than 3 days time to answer somebody. Now, I don't know how many emails they get. I don't know how many trollish people just troll them with stuff. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I do think the promise of Rumble's future is still there. The bright light, the shining city in hill, it is still there. It's just we are in the times of a work in progress. Everyone compares to YouTube because YouTube is Google and Google is YouTube, and that's a lot of resources that not many of the other platforms have. I thought I would know. Okay. But it is what it is. We are in the times of fog. Yes, I will gladly take that. We are in the times of fog, and the election season doesn't help with that. Not at all. But I do believe doing the small creator stuff helps. Doing the and here's my thing. Right, here's the rule. If you've already been the content creator program before, you shouldn't be in again. Maybe years down the road, maybe like a time limit of like 2 to 3 years. The reason why I say that is because now there are more people coming to Rumble. Let them have a shot. Right? There are people who are in the program, the first one and the second one. But the thing of it is that we need to have the fresh blood resupplied every year. Now, if there's not enough people, right? If there's not enough people within the requirements of what they give, which they didn't hold to some degree, then okay, say we're opening up, but it really needs to be new people every time. Like I bring old people back on, people who've been on before. I bring back on people who've been on before many a times. Jack Tarlett has been on 7 times. They'll get he's a lovable chap, but man, live he's on a lot. But no, he's a cool dude, and always will be. Um, but I also want to bring on new people that paying it forward. The pay it forward streams, they're all about a mixture of both. Same with Darachat. Darachat is a mixture of both. The new show, name pending, right? Because the contest is still on. Name pending will be about bringing about people who have been on Darachat and kind of mixing them up a bit, right? Like I know a few people who do the tech stuff, so maybe I'll bring those people together that know their tech stuff, or maybe this, or maybe that, or maybe I'll just mix them up and that they can meet each other and cross pollinate. I want this thing to be a connection hub, the place of connection, the place of coming together and connecting, no matter what your technical aspect is, no matter what your speciality is. You can come here and connect and cross pollinate and maybe learn something new or more. Because it's time we stop getting stopgapped by these niches, right? That's why I do this, is because I'm not, yes, I'm a podcast. Yes, I live stream. But guess what? I'm Sound of Music, baby. I am up on the hill. The hill is big and wide, and we can go wherever we want. Almost wherever we want, because I stream to YouTube, so no big gamer wins. But at the end of the day, 98% of the field. 98% of the field is yours. But I can't be stuck. I can't be stuck to this space of pick this or this. I want it all. I want all the open spaces. I want to be in the spaces of VTubers. I want to be in the spaces of people who call themselves lawyers. I want to be in all these spaces. Now, that doesn't mean everyone's going to get to come on, because, again, there are people who just don't want to have a conversation, or they just aren't respectful or whatever. At the end of the day, though, there's so many people to have on, and it's amazing in its own right. Because I can't tell you how many people I've met. I have met Happy Mars, Gender Duality, Meg, of course, Miss Christie, of course, lovely as she is. She's just up Ironcaster, Tomby, Libby G, what up? Patty's Parlor Games. Let's see, Smoo. So many people. Yes, a big chunk of them are creators, but guess what? That's what I got. What I got. But not all of them are creators. Jen is not a creator. May play games or whatever, but she's not a creator. Happy Mars does clip channel and all this stuff, but he's not. I don't know if I call him creator now, but he does episode channel. All these different people, all these different perspectives. My gosh, why hasn't it been done before? Or at least why haven't I seen it being done more so that I can notice it? Because there was, I guess from Yankee Free. Yes, Yankee Free does his own freeform or whatever, but he does his own thing in his own way. And everyone should. Don't follow me for how to do a podcast or freeform, whatever. Do it your own way. The thing of doing this is what I took the opportunity, because this is offered to anyone, right? YouTube, Rumble, whatever. I took the opportunity to just climb up a rung, buy a camera, use a mic I had forever, and just Try it out. Was I great in the beginning? I'm pretty sure a lot of people said, "Man, you are a lot different than you were now." And I'm like, "Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much." But I do this to reach beyond these compartmentalized places because we are so much more than just one thing, one niche. I don't know if I'd be call this a niche. I guess it is. I don't know. At the end of the day, though, I'm doing this because I enjoy it. I don't make a hell of a lot of money on it. I don't, but I get to meet people who can connect me with other people, and I can have those people on too, and more and more, and that's where the greed is gonna lie. The greed is gonna lie in having all these different people on. Will some come on? Don't know. My guest didn't feel well, wasn't able to come on. Maybe next time, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know the future. And I can understand that when I'm trying to schedule for, say, uh, like future months, right? Nobody knows what's going to happen next month, so they can't give me a definition until they get closer to the time. Understand that. Understand that. But I've only got one more day left to fill in July. So on a pay it forward, it's on a Friday, so whether it's after pay it forward or during, don't know. But regardless, I'm not giving up on this because I can't. I could walk from this. I could do my full time job or whatever, but I don't. I enjoy this more. I enjoy getting to talk to all the people I have throughout doing this more. Could I live without it? Sure. I don't know what I'd be doing, but I'll try. Yeah, it happens. It happened before. Like there was another guest that couldn't come on, but I still didn't. But I mean, chat is part of it too. Like chat helps it go longer. Otherwise, I'd just be doing an hour stream, and that'd probably be it. So, you know, but the important matter is that, and I'm sure there are other content creators do it too. So I'm not like special or anything, right? Like I'm not that special. Maybe a little bit, but not not much. But yeah, I I can't. I as an adult, you don't get a manual for where you're supposed to go in life, right? You're not. You aren't told to go not like make these comic magazines, right, Miss Christie? You didn't start that out from the beginning. It's like, oh, I'm gonna make comic magazines when I start out. You probably didn't do that. Fatal Nexus probably didn't start out wanting to get into investing. Maybe I don't know. You could tell me it wrong or whatever. I have been wandering for a very long time, and I'm tired of wandering. And my job provides me the ability to come and do this because I don't rely on this for my financial benefit. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a home to do this. But at the end of the day, it allows me to do this. It allows me to have people on, to have discussions about whatever, and build and grow and build and grow and build and so forth and so on till ad infinitum. Because like I said, I'm still trying to build the templates of trying to figure out how many people I've been on. And of course, um, Libby G surprised me yesterday with her thumbnail making skills. So the thumbnail she made for that tomorrow, I'll be putting on once this is done. And I may use that in the future. I may not because she gave me the template for it. Because I like my basic thumbnail because it's doop done. Like putting too much time into a thumbnail is sort of draining. Like right now I'm trying to finish up my so on Opus.pro I've put in the stream for um, Daniel Romano, fan of Power Rangers, and just getting through it. And it's difficult to get every piece I can from it and then say bye and then never have to worry about the stream again and then do another one. Because again, um, I am trying to extract as much as I can from one stream And that stream's done for good. There's no going back to it. It's all been extracted. I have so many streams to extract stuff from. It's embarrassing at this point. But I enjoy doing it because Opus.Pro makes it easy. Canva makes making thumbnails easy. I use Claude AI to proofread and all this other stuff because I ain't got money. I ain't got money. I pay it forward without expecting anything in return, but I am well grateful beyond words of when there is something thumbnails. Yeah, I can't. I'm like I get mine done in like 5-10 minutes and I'm done. Thumbnails are like book covers. They may not sell the product, but yeah, that's true. But there's also the description. There's also this title. There's also this other stuff. And while I get that, right, I'm doing it in the way that I enjoy doing it. Will it get me a lot of followers? I have no fudging idea. I'm pretty sure anyone who looks at my thumbnail is like, wow, this guy looks like he's in 5th grade. That's like someone who did it with finger paint. And I've seen finger paint. That's just downright wrong. But I use these programs that help things better. Yes, you can have people you can hire to do thumbnails, but you are giving up some of your it's some of the bandwidth, right? It's some of that bandwidth, but holy cow, I can't imagine. Yeah. Get a good template and then just alter the necessary image. Yeah, that's what. So when I get on Canva, right? When I built the first template of our first time together, I use that same template down the road. Now I don't use the same wording, right? Like the title is going to change, but I do use that same template for down the road because I what is it? Because it just makes it easier, right? The template's there, boom, 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 done. When you're first making the template, it can be a little, okay, so what color here, what color there, all that stuff. At the end of the day, it's just about making these things and enjoying the process along the way. Do I learn some new things? Sure. Libby G taught me a few things yesterday, and I'm grateful to her making the thumbnail for tomorrow. I don't know what will attract a lot of people, but I may try using that later down the road. I'd have to learn the program she's used to make it. I know it's a lot of words, but same thing with Opus.Pro. Rumble Studios affords you the ability to make clips, which is great. That's awesome. But I do enjoy the programming more of Opus.Pro because again, hey, it does 90% of the work. I still have to do the other 10% of the work, but I don't have to do as much heavy lifting as other people. And I'm not that genius of like, oh, this would be great or whatever. I just go back over and like I try to make it make sense to a degree, and it's like boom, done, go. Show me the money. show me the money. Show me the no. I don't even know how many of my shorts have gotten me subscribers, but it's fine. It's fine because I'm enjoying the process. If I don't enjoy this process, I'm gonna give up pretty quickly. I am gonna give up pretty quickly, and it's not gonna be fun. It's not gonna be fun, guys. Like it's seriously, I'm like a demon. It is horrendous. Oh man, but yeah, thumbnails. Yeah, I couldn't. If you're putting in a half an hour to build a thumbnail, I'm sorry. You've got to find something else. At least for my end, I'm going to find something else. I cannot imagine putting a half an hour in. Yeah, I can make it a book cover or whatever, but why does it have to be all the stuff that people have done before? I just want to make the thing and have fun with it. I'd like people to come watch that. I'd like more people to watch the previous streams or whatever, and they kind of do. To some degree. Like the shorts help on YouTube and all this stuff, but I think that it's about this this road, this journey of where it can go. How far can I take it before someone slaps me in the face and say, "You can't do it anymore"? Yeah, because I don't know. I have no idea where this road will take me. I don't know how long this will be. I don't know. But all of you, whether new or old, you have made it the most fun journey I have ever been on. And the road is still much, much, much longer than this. It's not like me trying to say, and the journey has been great, and it's time to go. No. I think this will be the until the end of my life situation, because there's too many people out there. I mean, there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people out there, and so many conversations to be had. Will I know what to say all the time? No. Am I the greatest at saying it? No. But guess what? We'll get to laugh along the way. Oh, see, an hour, dear Lord, woman, hats off to you, because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do an hour. The max I've probably taken on a thumbnail is 10 to 15 minutes, and I'm done. That probably doesn't get me a lot of people watching it, but yeah, and that's where the help from Libby G will be beneficial, because she gave me a template she gave me the one for tomorrow for ours, so I'm going to use that. But the template she gave me as well, and in the program. But yeah, the templates I set up on Canva will still be used while I'm still learning the other stuff, and hopefully I'll be able to get a change to one, because I do want two templates. I want templates that will have a space for the other person and just a solo one. So I'll have to ask her to change the one she gave me to like a solo one. But yeah, and I don't know if awesome thumbs. Yes, you have some awesome thumbs. Try not to poke anyone's eye out from it. Or what is it? Georgie Porgy putting a pie, kiss the girls, made him cry, stick it. It was a something plum. I can't remember. Yeah. You have awesome thumbs, but they look like they can knock somebody out. But yeah, it's a journey. It's a fun journey. I know some people may yell at me and say, "Oh, you could do better like this. You could do better like that." But if you're gonna be that person who yells or whatever, says this is wrong, you do it better, then you've already lost me in the conversation. But if you're someone like Libby G who says, "Oh, let me show you a better way," and I'm like, "Holy crap!" Oh, okay, so let me bring up the template she made, at least for the other guest faction. I'm trying to find it. Ha! So, you guys can give your opinion on it. Oh, thank you, Meg. I will try. But I want to show you the one she made. Oh, I got it. Son of a bit. Window. Here we go. So this is the template she made. You guys let me know what you think, because this will. She made one with me and her on it for tomorrow. But so. Oh, all right. Hold on. So this is the template she made. Dang it. Oh, even if I move it on screen, it's not gonna. Never mind. So this is the template she made, and so she did this. She did all that. She kept it spacey like my other one that's on my YouTube. And I had QR codes. I had QR codes made a while back they go to my channel. They don't go to my like the live stream, whatever. But those are real QR codes. So if you have your phone, you can just use your phone and take you directly to it. And I figured that would be much easier. But yeah, I really don't know how I'm going to work this. She told me she used PixArt, so I'm going to try and see if I can't use some of that. But holy cow, I may have to like reconfigure the thumbnails like I have, because I don't want to clean up. But anyway, that's the one she gave me for use for special guests. I'm hoping she'll be able to build me a one that has me in the center and just be like Darachat. I don't know where I could put the like the title, because I do like I do like the titles they come up with. So I know some people may not, but still. Anyway, but yeah, that's the thing she made. I really appreciate it for it, and I'll definitely try to get her to make a singular one. But yeah, no, I'll definitely keep you in mind, Meg, because dear Lord, I am not the greatest at making the thumbnail things, but hey, you know what? I am enjoying doing so, and that's all right with me. I'm not in it to win it big, but you know what? I have a lot of people who can give me a thumbs up or like all that stuff and just let me hand. So there you go. But anyway, yes, I figured so that right there I got from a retail store and it was like $10. But I was told a long time ago I didn't have enough color on my wall. So I got that to address it. Now it's some sort of oil painting, all those blips and blobs and stuff. Of course, it's made in China. But anyway, this is gonna be part of the ordeal in the back. Just for color stuff. I know it's a dog. It's a pug on a skateboard, and a lot of people like, look at that face. How could you say no to that face? It's not a real dog, but still. Um, but yeah, I thought I bought it because I was once told I didn't have color. So yeah, I can't. I don't know about putting it on that wall, and I can't put it on the wall over there because it's above my head, so I don't want it falling on me sleep. But I'll probably keep it in my fridge and maybe like have it like that. Look at that. Look at it. It's staying. It's staying up there. Like it's kind of face. That poor dog. No, but yeah, I bought it at a retail place, like $10, and I was like, well, there's more color. There's more color. So hopefully it looks good enough to be in the picture. I mean, it'll just be right there. It's not gonna be on the back because that'll still be the posted wall. And I certainly want it to be seen. So there you go. You can look at it all day long. Look, there's a little dog on a skateboard. Oh, he looks so sad. No, it is new. I bought it like yesterday. It was like again, it was like $10. I was like, it's just extra color. It's just an extra color piece, and like you said, it's cute. So there you go. You can look at a little dog in the background, and that'll attract people. Or it'll just be like, oh, and you won't listen to anything I say. You'll just be looking at the pug on a skateboard with headphones, with some colors. And you're like, oh, that poor dog. What is he doing to you? But anyway, but yes, if you know my fan account on Twitter X, there's a poll going on for naming the show this weekend that Miss Christie will be a part of. Lurk joining the Red Phoenix to play MK. I'm a Lurk. All right, see you later there, Fatal. Thanks for coming by, good sir. But I'm gonna end it shortly anyway, so it's like we're gonna get a few more minutes. But yeah, but it's new and it's just something nice to have. I know people have all these famous pieces that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. I only paid $10 for that. I ain't paying $2,000 for some stinking piece of artwork. Pfft. Now, if you give me a piece of artwork and you're not gonna charge me for it, we can discuss the deal. But if I have to pay some $100,000 for some piece of artwork that looks ooh and ah, let it go to the other highest bidder because I'm not interested. I don't make that kind of money. And even if I did, I would just send it back through the pay it forward streams or the people who are on, sort of thing. I wish I could. I wish I had $10,000 to give back, but I'll do with what I can, what I have now. So there you go. But yes, that will be part of it going forward. And yes, and again, I skipped over it, but if you go to the Twitter X at Daramouthe, there's a poll going right now about naming the show this weekend. Again, the show will be a once a month with 3 other people, so that's 4 people total, and it'll just be Darachat, but it will be a Darachat format, but it will be with other people who either they have something in common or they don't have something in common, and they can come together and cross pollinate, and you can build something much bigger, much better. And with all the people I know, I can mix match any way I want per month. So it's just up to people if they'll be able to. I'll leave it on. I'll leave it on doing on the weekend because the weekend is majority of the time what most people can do. I'm not sure about my Australian peeps, but it's worth a shot. It's worth a shot, guys. Let's just do it. Let's all hold hands and sing kumbaya, bruh. Oh, kumbaya. Woo. Oh man, but anyway, yes, this Saturday. This Saturday, I will the show that has not named yet because the poll's not over with yet. The uh, show will have on D-pad Chad. It'll be cool. You had a four. Yes, that was for the Pay It Forward stream though, and that was sort of by accident that you came. I thought you were going to come on later, but you came on earlier, so that was more accident than anything else. But it did work out, and I think that's a reasonable number to do a panel, multi-panel people on there, and so that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to be able to mix up the people I've had on, and of course, anyone who's been on is invited to be part of the panel. It'll just be once a month, and of course, it'll be on a weekend. But I'll keep that information up to date as going forward. But for right now, the 13th at 9 p.m. Eastern, and that's for just saying, I will have on. I will have on D-pad Jan, great guy. I will have on Putinbot, of course, wonderful dude, and I will have on the lovely Miss Christie. She agreed. I said, "Thank you, Lord," and she said, "Only this once." I'm like, "No, no, she's fine." So those three people will be on with me, and it'll just be like Darachat, but with more people. We'll be able to speak whatever. There's no topic or pick a hand. I know people will be like, "Oh, you should have a topic." I'm like, "Dude, I've been doing non-topic things for quite a while. I think I'm good enough." So I think I got my thing down. Don't you worry. oh, oh man, I know somebody's gonna yell at the background. But anyway, anyway, guys, it is the top of the hour, and I'll probably end it here after this. But you know the ordeal, guys. At the top of the hour, promotion, self-promotion, all that stuff. So the first things first, guys, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this now or watching it later, look, I stream to both Rumble and YouTube at Daramouthe. I have a Discord at Daramouthe. Bing, bing, bing. Bing, bing, bing. But it's mostly just for DMing. So I don't really have a server. I've heard the horror stories of servers. So no, I just don't want to waste that energy. I have a Twitter X fan account at Daramouthe. It's a bit of a story. I also have an email too. Look, guys, in the link tree below. If you were to click on that link tree, you would see the other links that lead to those places, whether it be the Twitter X, Rumble, YouTube, all that stuff. Right? I offer this opportunity to just about anyone who's willing to have a conversation. Yes, you can be anxiety, a little scared, all that stuff. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you took the leap of faith to come on and say, "Hey, I saw what you offered, and I'd like to have that opportunity." There you go. So whether it's by leaving a comment on YouTube or Rumble, asking to come on, or going to the link tree, finding me at those places, asking me on, or asking to come on, and we can get started. Look, guys, I'm not here for debates, not here for arguments, not here for people who just want to troll and not have a conversation. I am here for having a conversation about whatever, because we don't seem to have that very much. Politics, all this other stuff, all this goop that we've created is sort of just like, I don't want to do that. We can talk about politics, sure, but not like in those sense that they do. But yeah, find me through the link tree or leave a comment on either YouTube or Rumble, YouTube, whatever, and we can get started. Now, the second point of this, before I go, the second part of this is engagement. Look, guys, I know you've heard YouTubers say share, like, and subscribe 1,000 times over. I get it. The reason why I do it, not in that sense, but differently. The reason why I have to do this sort of thing is it's a lead to having more people on. One person connects to another that connects to another, and so many more. It's rough, it's still tough, but I take on the challenge because I didn't think I'd be able to fill July, and yet I did. How is that for proving my fears wrong? So, any way you can help, whether it be a like, whether it be a comment, whether it be sharing, whether it be following, one of it or all of it, anything you do helps. Because there's so many people out there, and so many other conversations to be had, and you guys can help bring that more to light. Not easy, sure, but at the end of the day, if you've watched this show long enough, you get surprised every time how some things are similar, some things are different, and yet we can still come to the table and break bread with each other. I say that's pretty powerful. But anyway, guys, uh, it has been quite a while. Thank you for joining me for doing all this crazy stuff. Yes, I did go on a bit about Sound of Hope. Um, I may see it again in the future, or I don't know, but I do think it's worth seeing at least once. Um, and all the other tangent stuff I can go through, to be honest with you. So, but yes, tomorrow, I gotta bring it up. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, I will have on the Libertarian Goth again, or Libby G as I call her. What? And of course, that will show off the new uh, thumbnail she created. And so that will be awesome. But I hope you guys will be able to join us for that. I know a lot of the people I've had on are creators in their own right, so they got their own stuff to do. I know. At the end of the day, you guys coming to watch, you guys getting to join in and talk, that's what this is about. So let's keep having a great time with it. Let's keep having fun with it because life's too short to sit in our misery, in our depression, in our state of conjungled mindset that makes us feel like trapped otters in a cage in some SeaWorld thing. Let's let's get out there and have some good ones. Now you too, Meg, you too. So guys, you know how this goes. You know how we end it, right? You know how we end it. One of my favorite artists that I hope through maybe the more engagement and all this stuff that maybe one day I can have him on if he'll ever come on. I don't know. It's gonna be a tough find, pogo, and whatever. Um, but yes. So we ended on. Oops, that's campaign summary. And we ended on one of the favorites we've always ended on is One Day with You by Pogo. Tomorrow, join me at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's Libby G. Have a great night, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.